One man is dead after a crash with a Danville Fire Department vehicle.
Heat and humidity around to kick off our Mother's Day weekend. It looks like Mother Nature may steal the show with some storms. We'll break it down just ahead.
As tornado victims salvage what they can here in Oklahoma, more storms are headed toward the southern plains. I'm Don Champion in the hard-hit town of Bridge Creek. The latest coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
Good Friday afternoon. I'm Jennifer Palumbo. It's a hot and humid end to the week, and it looks like it's sticking around for Mother's Day weekend. This is a live look at Center Point in downtown Lexington, where it's 86 degrees right now. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a look at the forecast first at 4. Chris?
Yeah, Jennifer, indeed on the steamy note out there this afternoon, very similar to the past couple of days and similar to what we're going to see over the next few days. A good-looking sky until you step outside and all of a sudden it kind of hits you in the face with an increase in humidity and those temperatures showing up on our side of town into the mid and upper 80s. Winds are a little gusty, so that's one saving grace out there. Most areas are into the mid 80s. Look at London, 88 degrees, the current thermometer reading across parts of southern Kentucky. 77 into Harlan. That's an area that has a little more in the way of some cloud cover and a spotty shower nearby. Now, looking at Live First Alert Defender, not seeing as much action out there this afternoon as what we had at this same point yesterday. A couple of very isolated cells are showing up here around Mount Sterling, southern parts of Montgomery County, down toward the Mountain Parkway corridor, but a lot of the action in terms of storms now into western Kentucky. Thunderstorms, that's a pretty good little line of some storms that is cranking around the Paducah area. That will work its way toward the east and begin to slowly weaken by the time it reaches central and eastern Kentucky. But still, for the evening ahead of us, a storm or two is a possibility as temperatures drop from the low 80s towards 70 degrees. Weather headlines when I come back in a few minutes. Jennifer, storms are on the increase, and I'm tracking the potential for a few of those storms to turn strong. That's in 15 minutes.
We'll see you then, Chris. Investigators say a Danville firefighter responding to a fire was involved in a crash that killed a man. Sky First flew over the scene and shows the firefighter's SUV, a motorcycle, and 2 other vehicles involved. The crash happened just before 11 this morning near the Lowe's at the intersection of Houstonville Road and the Danville bypass. Witnesses say the fire vehicle had lights and sirens on when it collided with the motorcycle, killing a man on it. Victor Puente is in Boyle County with the latest in our top story at 4.
You can see that intersection behind me is now back open. It was closed for several hours earlier today as Kentucky State Police tried to figure out exactly how that crash happened. They tell me a member of the Danville Fire Department was driving this SUV to a call of a car on fire on Houstonville Road. As they were going through this intersection, they collided with a 3-wheeled motorcycle, and police say the man on that motorcycle was thrown from it and killed. The woman with him was flown to UK Hospital. After that first collision, 2 other vehicles crashed in a sort of chain reaction. Kentucky State Police handled the accident reconstruction and say the investigation is just beginning.
We're not for sure who had the green light or who had the red light. We do know that the emergency equipment was operating on the actual truck. It's unsure right now. That part of it is still under investigation.
That intersection reopened around 3 o'clock. Tinsley tells me at some point in the future they'll come back out here with a piece of equipment they call the total station. He says that will allow them to map the area and will give them a model they can use in their computers to try to figure out how this happened. In Boyle County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The names of the man and woman on the motorcycle have not yet been released. There appears to be some compromise on Center Point. A new private development partner is considering investing in the development in downtown Lexington and has 90 days to decide. This is a live look at Center Point. Lexington city leaders made demands from the developer, who then threatened legal action. The city has delayed requiring the Webb Properties to fill in the block. Taxes are going up for downtown business owners in Lexington, but supporters say the increase will have a big payoff. The Urban County Council approved a new downtown management district last night. It creates an annual tax on property owners that amounts to 0.1%. Supporters say the money generated by the district could be used to remove graffiti, pick up trash, and remove snow from sidewalks. Our reporters are working on other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us from the newsroom with some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. A southern Kentucky woman is in jail facing drug charges. Police say she showed up late to pick up her son at school, high on a number of drugs. Anna Whitehead is facing several drug-related charges. According to the Laurel County Sheriff's Office, she had ingested 8 different controlled substances.
Many of those, say on the medication, do not operate a motor vehicle when you're taking this medication. Extremely high is putting it mildly. She was very, very much under the influence.
She was taken to jail, and her 6-year-old is now with other relatives. We'll have more on the case ahead on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. The Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team is using some new technology to help lost hikers. Using a mobile app, the Search and Rescue Team can send a text message to the lost hiker's cell phone that pings their device and lets them know their exact GPS coordinates. Coming up on WKYT News at 5:30, we'll show you how this new technology was used to help some hikers who became lost near the Coomer Ridge campground at the Red River Gorge. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thank you, Sam. Now to stories making headlines across the nation at 4. This could be a tense weekend for people living in the Plain States. There's a threat of more bad weather after dozens of tornadoes caused major destruction this week. Don Champion has more from Bridge Creek, Oklahoma.
It's just one of them things where you never know when and where.
A tornado demolished Michael Bellinger's car restoration business in Bridge Creek. He says his faith is helping him get through.
Lord will never give us any more than we can handle. There's a reason for everything.
The twister damaged 25 homes in the small town southwest of Oklahoma City. We found Katie Longest salvaging what she could from her home.
It's home, so we'll rebuild and deal with it again if we have to.
The twisters also destroyed this hotel and an RV park nearby. As the cleanup continues, there's a new threat. A new storm system is moving toward this region. It could bring more tornadoes, huge hail, and damaging winds.
This one means business.
Officials say this is the time of year when the worst storms hit the southern plains. The National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center has a new warning system for severe threats.
These new categories help us to appropriately convey risk, we think, in an effective way without crying wolf.
In northern Texas, heavy downpours may have caused this freight train to derail Thursday night. Floodwaters have receded, but the threat of severe weather is expected to continue through the weekend. Don Champion, CBS News, Bridge Creek, Oklahoma.
The new categories added to the updated weather outlook system describe the potential of severe weather as marginal and enhanced. The Baltimore Police Department is now under the watchful eye of the federal government. This morning, U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch announced the launch of a federal investigation into the police department's inner workings, including discriminatory patterns or practices. This comes after the death of 25-year-old Freddie Gray, who suffered a spinal injury and died while in police custody. 6 officers face charges in connection to Gray's death. Tom Brady says the Deflategate scandal does not detract from the New England Patriots' latest Super Bowl title. The star quarterback says he's proud of what his team achieved, and so are the fans. Brady says he hasn't had time to digest the NFL report that 2 employees were breaking rules by deflating footballs for him to use in the AFC title game against Indianapolis. The NFL will now decide if anyone should be punished.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
A big rally on Wall Street today as jobs data led to optimism about the economy. The Dow jumped 267 points to close at 18,191. The Nasdaq ended the day above 5,000 and the S&P picked up 28. T-Mobile is aggressively trying to lure away Verizon customers with a new promotion. The Never Settle campaign lets Verizon users transfer their Verizon phone number to a T-Mobile device for 2 weeks free of charge. Customers who want to stick with Verizon after the trial period can return the phone without any fees, and those who want to switch to T-Mobile can trade in their Verizon phone, keep the new T-Mobile phone, and T-Mobile will pay the bill for any termination fees. The promotion runs from May 13th to May 31st. The millennial generation is having trouble balancing work and home life. That's according to a new report from Ernst & Young. The reasons include moving into management at a younger age and working longer hours while also becoming parents. More than half of those surveyed say they would make a career change to find a better balance. Millennials were born in the early 1980s to 2000s. Mother's Day is Sunday, and a lot of people are looking for that last-minute gift online. But as Hannah Daniels reports, this is the time of year when scam artists try to take advantage of unsuspecting shoppers.
Flowers are one of the most popular gifts for Mother's Day. But Christopher Brown from the Federal Trade Commission has a warning.
Scammers are trying to take advantage of consumers and hopefully obtain their personal or financial information.
Scam artists have set up phony florist sites, hoping to attract unsuspecting users and get their credit card info. Finding a local flower shop online can help you avoid that problem. But David Shover from Karen's Florist in Vienna, Virginia says even then you have to be careful.
Make sure you're going to the official site of that flower shop.
When you search for a local shop like Karen's, the results will include national companies that have placed ads ahead of the actual site, offering flowers in the same area. Those call center orders can carry added fees.
Oftentimes the customer really doesn't know that they have that additional cost.
And it's not only shoppers who need to be careful online this time of year, so do moms.
Con artists send out fake Mother's Day e-cards to moms that appear to be from a child. But if the link is clicked...
These are often ways in which the scammers will install spyware or some other malicious software onto your computer.
The Federal Trade Commission says avoid clicking links when possible. And always make sure the email you've received is from a name you recognize. Hannah Daniels for CBS News, New York.
The countdown is on to football season.
Yes, it is. I can smell the tailgating food already. Lots of exciting things happening out at the University of Kentucky. Deanne Stevens out and about today with an update on what's going on with Commonwealth Stadium. Hi, Deanne.
Good afternoon, everyone, from Commonwealth Stadium. It is time for an update. We drive by, we see all the work going on, and we can't wait for that first home football game. This guy can't wait either. Russ Pear is overseeing this huge project, and every time I come into an update with you, you look a little more tired each time. Huge undertaking, right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's, we always try to start with we're about 120 days or so away from September 5th, so that we're moving along, lots going. Obviously, the good weather now is helping us, so we can some consistent dry weather is really helping get a lot of things done. We're already into the phase of getting the field ready, and so they've already taken all of the old turf out and are preparing the base. We'll be bringing rock in here in about a week, and sometime in the next 3 weeks or so, we'll be finalizing what the field's going to look like. We're still kind of in a draft phase with that, and then they'll start bringing in the turf and hopefully have that ready about around the 1st of July.
What else is going on here? We can obviously see the field, but I love to see this because it's been a few months since we've been out. Everything, it's getting a little taller over on that side.
Yes, it is. And what you saw last time, that big opening at the middle, that was all open there. Now they've put all the precast in there for the club seating. So those seats will come in here and probably in about another month, and they'll start installing all of those. You've got that loge level where the press box used to be, and you can see that's kind of built up. And then you keep going up, and in the upper deck you see the first level up there are the suites, and then the next level up is the press, and then you go all the way up to the roof up there where our sports video guys will work, and so we're got a lot going here.
I mean, you have a ton going. This is big time here for Commonwealth Stadium. Very exciting time for the fans too. A lot of folks are inquiring about it, and I appreciate you allowing us to give folks an update. Now, coming up at 4:50, we're moving. Are we moving up? We're moving on up?
Sure.
He's like, put your hard hat on, Deanne. We're going to move on up and give you guys another sneak peek of what's happening here at Commonwealth Stadium. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Go Cats! We are ready for some football. Back to you guys.
It's time for Better Living, health education and consumer news that impacts your life. The makers of Bluebell ice cream now say it will be months before their products are back on the shelves. Bluebell recalled all of its products last month after investigators linked a series of listeria illnesses to the company. Bluebell says cleaning and sanitizing all 4 of its production facilities, as well as employee training, will take longer than first thought. The Food and Drug Administration says inspection reports showed Bluebell had evidence of listeria in its Oklahoma plant as far back as 2 years ago. Don't mess with my coffee. That's the message from customers to Keurig Green Mountain. Its new coffee makers, called the Keurig 2.0 machines, don't let users brew any coffee but only K-Cups that Keurig licenses. After customer complaints and disappointing sales, the company said, "I'm sorry," and will start selling refillable K-Cup filters once again. Well, if you've ever wished there was an easier or faster way to get that post-work drink in your hand, there's a new gadget that works like a Keurig. It says it will have your favorite cocktail ready and waiting for you as soon as you walk through the door. It's called Soma Bar, and it works like a Keurig coffee maker. The robot works on an algorithm to make the perfect drink, but you can't buy it yet. It's only been featured at a tech show. A warning to singles looking for love on the dating app Tinder. Global Web Index found 43% of users are already in a relationship. Tinder says the research is anything but scientific, and the firm is making guesses without having access to real data. For more health, education, and consumer news, go to WKYT.com and click on Better Living. Now let's head over to Chris, and stories like that make me glad that I am no longer single.
Yeah,
Tinder.
There you go. And now you've got something to already have a drink ready for you no matter what it is when you get home. It's just sitting there, apparently.